Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
The IBFP is a hater and biased. Look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And shout out to my brother Abel. He sent me this video. This video comes from Dead Game Boxing Talk. Now, this guy went on to say that IBFP is one of the most biased and dishonest boxing channels on YouTube. I am the worst. He states in the video that I'm going to continue to expose the IBFP as the most biased and dishonest YouTube boxing channel. He states that, you know, I'm a hater, and I stated that Bud Crawford is ducking Jaron Boots Ennis, but I make excuses for Canelo ducking Demetrius Andrade. This is what he's saying. This is his whole video. His whole short is talking about me making excuses for Canelo ducking Andrade, while I say that Terence Crawford is ducking Boots. So look, let's break down the facts. First off, when you look at it, Terence Bud Crawford, you know, he was undisputed at 147, and Jaron Boots Ennis is mandatory. Terence Crawford said, I deserve to do what I want to do. Fighting Boots Ennis is a lose-lose situation. I don't get nothing out of that fight. But then turns around and says, I'd stay at 147 to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, a guy who's nowhere near the weight class. And it doesn't make any sense to me, because even Terence Crawford said Jaron Boots Ennis deserves the fight. Now, the problem I have with Terence Crawford is, if Terence Crawford is undisputed in 2 weight classes, but his resume is stacked full of killers, full of champions, beating every single body, then I would have no problem with Terence Crawford making this statement. But Terence Crawford didn't go through a bunch of killers. His resume is not stacked. His resume actually only has one name, and that's Errol Spence Jr. So because his resume is so paper thin, I need to see Terence Crawford challenge himself. You don't get to beat one guy in Errol Spence and say, oh, I don't have to fight nobody else. I can just fight him and then cherry pick whoever I want for paydays. That's not how boxing works, and that's what's wrong with boxing and all these dumbass boxing fans. The fact that Terence Crawford willing to fight Tank Davis and stay there at 147 for him, but not fight Boots, shows you that he simply doesn't want to smoke. Because if Terence Crawford truly wanted to fight, he would find a way to make it. People say, where's the money that's going to come from? Where'd the money come from for David Avanesyan? We got to keep the same energy. At the end of the day, Bud Crawford simply did not want to fight Jaron Boots Ennis, and I'm calling it a duck. And that's just keeping it 100. Now, the problem I have is he's saying that Canelo Alvarez is ducking Demetrius Andrade, which doesn't make any sense, because Demetrius Andrade is a guy who just got the dog dookie beat out of him. I mean, this guy quit in the corner against David Benavidez. So Canelo Alvarez is ducking a guy who just quit? That's who Canelo's ducking? Canelo's ducking a guy coming off of a knockout loss. That's who Canelo's ducking? Oh, okay. Oh, are you talking about when Demetrius Andrade crashed Canelo's press conference and Canelo said he only wanted a payday? Are you saying that's when Canelo was ducking and I made an excuse? That doesn't make any sense, because at that time Demetrius Andrade was at 160 pounds. Canelo was at 168. They were at 2 different weight classes. So are you saying that Canelo Alvarez was ducking a fighter that was from another weight class? Is that what you were saying? Are you saying Canelo Alvarez should have stopped his road to undisputed and collecting belts? He should have stopped all of that just to fight Demetrius Andrade? Is that what you're saying? I know you are not this stupid. See, instead of being called Dead Game Boxing Talk, you need to be called Dumb Game Boxing Talk, because you are really, really stupid. I mean, it really takes a special type of dumbass to call Canelo a duck, looking at his resume, looking at him being undisputed, and looking at Demetrius Andrade being one of the biggest hype jobs and frauds in boxing history. But this really shows you, this is why Dumb Game Boxing Talk is a moron. And the fact that you're coming on here hating on me, talking trash about me, does not make sense. Before you get on here and start talking trash about the landlord, don't come on here with your lineup looking beat up. Look at this beat up ass lineup. You're going to get on here with the beat up ass lineup and try to talk about the landlord? Are you serious? You're going to get on here with pubic hairs on your chin, but trying to talk about the landlord? Are you serious? I mean, come on. Come on. Are you going to get on here with your teeth look like you've been chewing on rocks, but you want to get on here and talk trash about the landlord? I mean, make that make sense. This guy comes on here looking like a whole crackhead, but then you want to talk about me being dishonest and biased. You're just simply a dumbass who doesn't like facts.